Hello, my name is Tom Winch and this is my Unit 6 Sports Development. Sports development is about getting people into the sport, no matter the age or capability of them trying to get up to the sport development continuum. This includes 4 levels: foundation, participating, performance and excellence. The foundation is their no commitment towards the sports, but hosting a tournament, but this would be used to host a tournament to get people involved. The second stage is participation. To enter this stage, the player would have to sign up, which was sign up and have a commitment to participate in the sport. The third stage would be performance. This stage would be high play, for an example, playing in the Nations League for your school football team. And the last stage is excellence. This is the highest play of the sport you're entering and would be used and would be professional, which could ultimately mean you get paid to play. The first stage I've got is for football. The first stage of football would be a taster or foundation session in either a school, with clubs or with the FA. The FA could host a tournament in England. The FA control football in England and would be in charge of setting up a tournament for young children to start playing football. This would then lead to players enjoying the sport or not at all, and they could then decide if they want to continue playing, which will then be participation. Once this is accomplished through players signing on after enjoying the taste session, they've made a commitment to playing for the local team. Once signed for your local team, you become a player and you have to commit to playing to your club you have chosen. The next stage after that would be performance. This is classed as high play and is a case playing in the finals for a national cup for your school would be a high standard. Normally for the next stage, normally a high level scout would be at the game, which would then scout you and ask you to come play for their team. These teams are normally classed as professional teams, so if you're a professional team will come send a scout out to you, and then they'll sign you on, you come and play for them, and now you're on the level to become a professional footballer or the elite footballer. But sometimes you can be dropped depending how good you are. The next sport is futsal. Futsal follows a similar format to football, but it's still classed as a different sport. Futsal has some different rules as football, as in this includes like kick-ins instead of throw-ins, and the ball's not allowed to go over your head, and the ball doesn't bounce because it's more heavier and smaller. The first stage of getting people involved in this sport would be foundation. This is taster sessions similar to how football do it, hosting tournaments or ever bringing a free entry to attract players. Some football teams can be found locally, like the one I coach for at the weekend. They're based around Bedfordshire and host free taster sessions that would allow the player to come and get the foundation of what futsal is. They're called Mid-Bed Futsal. This would allow them to learn basic skills and knowledge before making their commitment. If they enjoy the session, they can make a commitment, and this would lead to the next stage of participation. Similar to football, participation would be signing up and committing your time towards the sport. After this commitment, you'll most likely sign up to the school futsal team if they had a team. If they enjoy the game, the next stage of futsal is the highest level that's not professional. An example with this would be the Bedfordshire futsal team. This is classed as performance and is achieved by being scouted while you're at your football club, being scouted to play at that higher level. Only a certain amount of players can play, and you're playing by exceeding your club. The last stage would be professional, as it's excellent in the sports development continuum chart. This is achieved by getting scouted in the performance rank and then going on to sign a pro contract for the club. The National Futsal League would be the organisation where the elite players would play. The last sport is athletics. Athletics is a way of getting through the stages to people playing or competing in the sport. It's normally done through school. For an example, hosting the sports day would allow the kids to see if they like running and they can compete, would be the foundation. Then the school then would proceed to choose faster runners and compete at the next level, hence participation. If then they won the whole thing, you would go through into the next stage and represent your counties, like Bedfordshire and Hertfordshire. This would be performance. This is where scouts can then be told to find who the fastest runners are and try and persuade them to join them, and later down the years they could see you running, making you pro or just playing nationals. If you make it pro, the final stage has been met at excellence. If you were an elite athlete, you could compete in the Olympics for GB. And then for the first group, I've got women. The recent data proves that women are less participant in sport than men. In most sports, women's participation rate is improved over the years with the help of Girl Can, Chance to Shine and Sport England. They have massively helped increasing the awareness of women's sport. I know this because women's football games have broken the stadium capacity and records have been set each game that is played. Some barriers that women face while competing in the sport would be lack of opportunity. Locally, there aren't many teams around the area that allow women to compete, but most recently they're allowing more women to compete in football, netball and also basketball. So the FA follows schemes to allow more women to be included into games times. Another barrier would be money in transport. Like men, women have the same problem of getting to places and how much it would cost. I've now got BME. Black athletes are well known in sport, but other ethnic groups have trouble participating in sport in the UK. This is because of certain barriers prevent them from doing so. Some of these barriers are low confidence due to racism, which is a big problem at the moment, especially in football. This is trying to be fixed with multiple acts, like Say No to Racism, No Room for Racism campaign, and many others. This could also include celebrations similar to Wijnaldum and Frankie de Jong's compare skin colour, getting out the message that it doesn't matter of your skin colour. Another barrier would be religion. If religion doesn't condone the sport, then many people wouldn't even explore the sport and wouldn't know if they can perform at a high standard. And the one more barrier is that black people could be affected by communication. At a high level, communication is key, and then they can come from another country and they don't speak the language that they've moved to. This would put them quite close quite a few doors for some teams on signing them, and ultimately maybe ruin their career. This could be overcome though with their knowledge and the teaching skills in their countries to be taught. Young people. Most professionals start at a young age, but this depends completely on their parents and how their upbringing was. If they're taught to love the sport, then they're going to want to play it to try and to push at the highest level and make their parents proud. So many barriers can stop them by doing that. Like parents couldn't afford travel costs and signing up to a team. Their parents despise the sport. They don't have the correct friend group like playing the sport. I would try to reduce the prices of participation in sport, which would allow more parents to afford it, and this then means more people to join in. That's the end of my presentation.